Namaste and welcome to Yoga Story Daily Dose of Yoga. Today we're going to talk about the Tensor Fasciae Latae, that is also known as the TFL. This is a hip adducting muscle that also assists in flexing the hip as well as in assisting in the medial rotation of the hip. So rotating the hip inward toward the center of the body. So our Tensor Fasciae Latae is located along the iliac crest of our hip. So this top bony part of the hip here, and runs down through what is called the iliotibial tract, which is a sheet of fascia that runs along the outer part of our thigh. Fascia, generally speaking, is connective tissue that runs along the outside of the muscle and also often helps connect from one muscle to the next. And we have this fascia that moves all through the body, different types of fascia that have different types of function. And this fascia is connected all throughout the muscular skeletal structure of our body. So something that the Tensor Fasciae Latae does is, as I said, abduct. So that is moving the hip away from the body. So in this sort of motion here, and a lot of times in class, I will guide a balancing pose where we come to one foot, hover the other, lift that foot out and up. You can always keep the toes connected. We might reach the hands high, bring some side body stretch into that and reach over. So that Tensor Fasciae Latae is helping to abduct the hip away from the body, or abduct the hip. And then we'll bring it back to center, come back. The TFL also helps to medially rotate the hip. So if we come into a wide leg stance and we're about to come to that wide leg forward fold, we'll turn the toes inward toward the center of the body. So our Tensor Fasciae Latae, or the TFL, is helping to medially or turn the hip inward toward the center of the body. And then we can fold here. Here again with this hip flexion, TFL helps flex the hip. So we're medially rotating. We're flexing the hip here in this wide leg forward fold. And we also have the hip abducted. So we have in this wide leg stance, the hips abducted away from the center of the body. So I invite you to, as you're moving through different poses, notice where else that TFL might be working, might be helping to assist as you're coming into different poses, when you're medially rotating the hip, when you're flexing the hip, and when you're abducting the hip. So thank you as always for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you back here tomorrow on Yoga Story Daily Dose of Yoga. Peace.